Hi and welcome back. Yesterday, early evening, I decided to pop onto Bev Quite thinking server just to join in the chat and see what came up. It was actually quite interesting. We talked about many things, including MAGE. There was quite a bit of stupid there, but some interesting stuff nonetheless. One of the chatters turned out to be Right the Hand. Oh yes, that guy who I bitch made about 2 years ago. When I spotted him, he didn't admit that he was he at first, but it was him. So I hope you enjoy.
Roll VT.
It's gone all quiet in here. When I popped in earlier on, there was half a dozen people talking.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Sensible.
Again, I missed who that was. Sorry, I'm mucking around with my mic. Who's that? I heard Bev, did I?
Oh, I can't tell you, mate. It's,
Yeah, sorry. We were just listening, going in over a proof thing we're doing.
Right, that's fine. That's fine. So how's it all going, guys?
Cool.
Good, good.
It's going great in a minute. I'm just making a brew for the missus, so I'll have a chat with the lads.
So, do you know? Oh my god! I thought that was actually.
Oh, go on, right then.
No, I thought it was
Warden Clip. Or is that Sean? Sorry, is that Sean?
Good afternoon, Mr. Sensible.
Hello, Montreal. You all right?
Very good, very good. Yourself?
Yeah, not so bad, thanks. Not so bad. Just a bit tired. Just a bit tired because I come off a night shift, but apart from that, all's good.
I hear you. That sucks. I was on that yesterday. Yeah, that sucks. What's on your mind today, bro?
Oh no, nothing in particular. I just because do you remember we had a chat a little while back, and you said, "Oh, come in," and I said, "Yeah, I will do sometime." And I popped in earlier on, and whoever it was talking about biblical stuff, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that, but it's not really my thing, and so I just left again. That was all. I wasn't trying to interrupt or disturb.
Perfect. No, since you're here and we were doing a logic thing, I'd like to take the opportunity to ask you. Well, actually, the proof thing. Sorry, I'd like to take the opportunity to ask you, what is proof for you? What constitutes proof for you? If you don't mind asking, that is. I mean, if you don't mind answering, sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you just need evidence. You need evidence that's non-contradictory. I mean, as we know, science doesn't do proof. You get more and more evidence to either support or knock down a theory.
Right. Okay, let me make a statement. You tell me if it's true or not. If you don't drink water for 2 months, you will die. Would you say that's a statement of proof or not?
It's not enough information, really, is it? You could be, I don't know. I don't know what the possibilities are, but perhaps on an intravenous drip, you could be drinking something else instead of just water. So you can't.
No drips. I mean, just.
Yeah, but. Well, it's not...
What about intake of any fluids, right? Like no fluids into the body.
Yeah, that's more accurate.
Right, so say it again with that then.
So, can you survive 2 months? Can a human survive 2 months without an intake of any fluids?
At face value, oh, sorry, go on, carry on.
Whether intravenously or, any way through, drinking it or with any method.
Well, I'd have to say to my level of medical knowledge, which is very, very layman, I'd have said no, but I could easily be wrong on that.
How can you envision that? Like in a very elementary form, isn't that like sort of like some sort of proof right there? And to say science can't prove anything,
no,
doesn't it sound kind of ridiculous from the get-go?
That's a claim, isn't it? I know you're not necessarily making that claim, but someone could claim that that you can survive without any intake of fluids, in which case you'd need to test it.
Would you like to volunteer?
No, thank you.
So
I see. Sorry, mate, but why don't you just increase it to 10 years?
Well, I do that when they say, well, I heard somebody that can survive 2 months. Then I say, okay, how about 6 months? Yeah.
Well, I didn't fall into that trap, did I?
Ruined it.
Yeah, because they do that spot on. Nice catch there. Yeah.
No, sorry. I didn't want to spoil your thunder.
No, it's
that's where you
cool.
were going to go. Yeah. Cheers.
I don't
No, it's
think
a very crude and like elementary way to, you know, when they say there's no proof, right? Yeah.
I don't think that
Yeah, I see what
works
you
for
did.
proof, though.
No, it's not a proof thing,
Is
is it? It's a.
It
it's
doesn't.
A,
No,
it's,
no.
It's a claim that you may or may not be able to evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what they say. When I say they, you know, a lot of people that we've talked to say there is no proof in science. So you could call that a science, could you? Science
I'm
of
working.
living.
So can I just want to say one thing. So with the death thing, how about if we keep logic and proofs, not into what, you know, like, oh, if you went. How about this? Can we? Or is it proof that we're talking right now? Right. So forget a hypothetical. What about the moment we're in right now? Is that proof of something?
Well said. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's
Yep.
proofs everywhere.
Proofs in reality, right?
In
That's
reality.
the main thing, right?
Yes.
Does it
yes.
make it
Can't-
scientific?
Yeah. I
It's
don't know
just-
whether you could have a hypothetical proof. I don't know whether those actual things exist.
And also, those that are calling us, in particular here, science deniers, are saying that we are denying something that doesn't prove anything.
Which is a bit silly, isn't it?
Or are they saying
Yeah.
that you're ignoring evidence?
What do you mean ignoring evidence? I mean,
Well, you know, it could be, for instance, I don't know. Let's just pick some random examples, okay? Sunset's evidence that the Earth is a rotating sphere, okay? Now, if you took...
the sunset is evidence of a sunset. I mean, there's nothing else.
No, because... If you have a... No.
The sunset proves the sunset. If you want to
Yeah.
come to
No.
conclusions about why, that's not your proof.
You see a
Yeah,
sunset...
let's not get into it. Let's not get into a battle about this.
No,
But I
no,
mean,
it's not a battle. It's just a chat,
Where did
Bev.
we go with the? This is part of the proof thing, right? Is that where we go? Because I missed the beginning bit. SE. I know SE's doing a project proof at the minute. So is that what you would say, that the sunset is a proof of something?
What, you asking me?
Yeah.
No, I'd say that seeing the sun set is an evidence. And then the question is, does that evidence fit with a sphere Earth or a flat Earth or some other shape Earth? And I would say that evidence would be contradictory to the Earth being flat. However, it's not contradictory to the Earth being spherical. It doesn't prove the Earth is spherical, but it doesn't prove that the Earth is spherical, but it is not, and evidence against it is not contradictory.
Have you ever seen the sunset behind mountains?
Yes.
And there's a proof that the Earth isn't flat.
I don't think anyone's denying topography. Or maybe they are,
Oh.
but I'm not.
I don't know. If
Your
you're saying
phraseology,
flat, then
your
you're
phraseology is a bit out of whack.
No, well, say what you said again, because I took that as saying there's such a thing as mountains, therefore the Earth isn't flat. I don't think mountains are evidence of the Earth being a sphere or evidence of it being a plane.
It's
It's just
evidence of
topography.
it not being flat.
Well, not flat,
What
not
DP
flat like
said.
not a flat surface like a kitchen worktop. No, but then
Yeah, well, that's what
nobody.
flat is.
I don't think anybody on the globe side is denying that there is topography, mountains, valleys, and etc.
Okay.
An imperfect sphere.
Like in reality, is denying that there are mountains and anything.
I
like
ha-
that. But just say that it's definitely evidence that it's not flat and provable, actually.
Measurable,
Yeah.
in actual fact.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone. I don't want to argue the flat side, but I don't think that even the most ardent flat earther is saying that the Earth is flat with no mountains, no valleys, or anything like that. I think
It sounds like you are arguing for a two-dimensional
Sounds like
plane.
it is what you're talking about, yeah, surely.
Mm.
That's what you're arguing against, flat Earth. right?
Yeah,
The Earth.
yes, but no, I'm not arguing against. I've said that quite explicitly. I'm not arguing against topography, and to step into the shoes of a flat earther,
So
I don't
therefore
think
it's
that
not
they
flat.
to step into the shoes of a flat
straw man.
to step into the shoes of a flat earther. I don't think that they are
You've got
claiming.
some flat Earth,
You're going to let me finish, Bev?
Well, you're getting into a straw man. You're making a straw man argument, right? And arguing a straw man argument to us when I'm just saying that the evidence of mountains means it's not flat, obviously. Like, I'm just coming from a realistic viewpoint. Like, I know how the elevation is measured. The very fact that elevation is measured means it's not flat. So can we take that out of the argument, right? Unless you want to tell us what you mean by flat.
I will tell you what I mean by a flat Earth, as I believe that flat earthers feel. Okay?
No, please.
No,
Please
Bev.
don't, because I know who the flat earthers are that you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about
don't
any
come in
flat
here.
earthers. I'm talking about any flat earthers. When they say flat Earth, they're not saying it's flat, smooth like a kitchen counter. They're saying it's a plane.
Speaking for them. Don't stop.
No, I'm not
for
speaking for
other
them,
people,
Bev. You're right.
You are.
I have already
Yes,
said
you are.
I have.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Right, if you guys won't let
You've
me.
put your flat Earth shoes on. Remember?
Well, I'll take them back off again. Right, there's two possibilities that we're talking about. The Earth is a sphere, the Earth is flat. Now, when we use the term...
False dichotomy.
When we use the
False
term...
dichotomy.
False
Oh, God.
dichotomy.
Listen, I'm happy to come in here and have a chat, but you're not letting me chat.
No, please. We watched a debate the other day, right? It wasn't a debate. Nathan Oakley and Flat Earth Math. Now, did you see that?
Don't think I did.
Oh, you don't worry, you won't be impressed.
I'm never
But-
impressed by Oakley.
In that, right, because you've set up a false dichotomy like you have, right? People like Nathan Oakley go, where's your radius? You can't give me radius. Welcome to flat Earth, right? Because that's the false dichotomy that he set up. I don't want to have that because it's not either one or the other. I don't have any models. I just live in reality.
Okay,
So
I'm not
if we
trying.
can't get along just talking about reality, then I don't want to know about either of your models and the people that you don't like with that model because it's ridiculous. And you're talking about your model, which is a concept that you've got of your model. Nobody else has that one that you have. It's yours.
Somebody else brought up mountains, and all I'm saying is mountains don't come into it, because with the flat Earth model, which I do not hold to, but with the flat Earth model, you would still have mountains and valleys, because we're talking about a generally flat plane, as in it is not curving in a sphere. That's the flat side. The flat model is not a sphere. So I'm quite happy to leave mountains out of it.
We did some logic the other day. Have you heard of it? You've been over to the Adult Globe Earth Discord server, the other one, you know.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
You have. You've been.
No. Sorry. Which one? Say again.
Bob won't be
Oh,
happy
Bob's
about
one. Oh,
that.
no, sorry.
You not promoting his server?
You said something about the adult stuff. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I thought it's called.
That's what it's called.
I thought it's called Globe Earth 24/7 or 12/7, something like that.
Only for adults, though.
Right. Okay. But look, Bob's server. Yes.
4 or
Okay,
5
right,
or
so-
something, isn't it?
There's a guy that's doing logic, and you might be keen on it.
I have seen him.
Now, okay. So did you see the one that he did yesterday?
I may have done, because I did look at one this afternoon where he was pulling apart your. I nearly walked into that. He was pulling apart your horizontals being parallel to the horizon and stuff,
Right,
which I have said,
Yeah.
Bev, I don't want to discuss again, because I've
No,
already.
yeah, I know, but
Okay.
Right, but so that is logic, right? That's come from us, from here, from reality. It's reality logic, isn't it?
Well, you'll have to take up his disagreements with him.
No. I'm not. I'm asking you. Like we're saying, you say that there is two different models, and I say I'm just coming from reality. So I'm saying to you, that logic that says if all horizontals are parallel to the plane of the horizon, which they are, then all horizontals are parallel to each other, which they are. Just that logic, does that fit with you on a globe model Earth or the flat model Earth or just in reality?
I've already said, Bev, I'm not going to go through your claims again. We did do
You're
a
the
debate.
logic man.
I'm not going to discuss your
Just
claim because I do not want to go
simple
round in circles with your flat horizontal level
Why?
thing.
Why
Simple,
won't you
but
answer a
do you agree
simple
with it or
logical
not?
question?
I have been through a debate with Bev when we discussed that.
This isn't a debate.
No, I know it's not a debate, but I said I'm not interested in that.
Yeah,
Because-
but that's what I was trying. I was just trying to know. So we know where you're coming from when you say globe Earth and flat Earth. Which one of those would you put it on?
Well, I don't agree with your premise.
So would you call that flat Earth logic?
I think I would call it. Hold on a second. What's the word? Sorry, there's an exact term I'm just trying to think of. I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, it's malformed logic. I think that's the word I was looking for.
So it's the antecedent if all horizontals are parallel to the plane.
I think that your flat equals horizontal thing is malformed. Okay, so that's my opinion.
Flat equals horizontal.
Sorry, level
Nobody
equals
said that.
horizontal. Yeah, Becky,
No,
I just misspoke.
not that either.
The parallel lines thing.
Horizontals being parallel.
If you're gonna
Logic.
misrepresent,
I'm
Mr.
not.
Sensible,
I'm not trying to misrepresent. I've already said I don't even wish to discuss it. So I'm not trying to misrepresent it. I haven't argued.
You
I
did,
said
you
I
said
disagree.
flat,
I
and
have
you
said.
said level.
I did just say I misspoke there, Bev. Anyone can misspeak. Please don't hold that against me. You may misspeak. I won't
3
hold that
times.
against you.
You stumbled over that word 3 times.
Yes, because I'm not interested in his that logical claim.
Logic. You're Mr. Logic.
You're Mr.
I'm
Logic.
not interested in an argument over if
Logic
level
with
is always
cheese doesn't
horizontal.
want to talk about logic.
No, I don't wish to talk about this endless level equals horizontal.
It's not level. This is just horizontal parallel.
Yeah,
logic.
well, that whole
One of the
thing. I
simple
don't wish to
logic
talk
things.
about it, and I said I'll talk about something else. I don't wish to talk about that because we've already done that.
All right. What did you come to the conclusion of? It's just malformed.
I believe it's malformed. Yeah, and that guy.
What about it is malformed? Go on.
Well, go and see what that guy said.
Give us some help.
Go and see what that logic guy said. That's the video I saw.
That logic guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he's a logic guy, really?
I don't know his name, but the guy who I think he does logic for a living or something. I'm not really sure of the details because
Is that a logical assertion there, Mr. Sensible, coming from the man who is logic with cheese?
what do you mean?
I'm sorry. Like the logic thing. Like you've watched it. Do you think he's a logic guy?
I watched it briefly this afternoon. It's about a 5-6 minute clip I saw, and my understanding is he is someone who, as part of his profession, works with logic. I don't know his background. I don't know.
Well, does it? You've watched what he was saying. Does it sound logic? You're the logic guy.
I'm not going to go
yeah.
in and discuss all that. I've already said.
Can you not talk about logic?
I don't. That's all you want to talk about, Bev. Is that
No, yeah.
you- is,
You're
is
the
your
logic
You are
man,
the logic
Mr.
guy.
Sensible.
is your
It's weird
horizontal
that there's
level
a new
thing?
logic guy come on the scene, and you don't seem to know whether he's a logic guy or not, or what he's trying to do. I mean, he did drop the horizontal parallel logic, and the one before that, he went into that room and ended up saying that the Earth is not a sphere; it's not a globe.
Well, I didn't hear him say that. As I
He did
said,
well.
I hadn't.
Did you not?
I hadn't heard of him.
Should go back and watch.
I
that.
hadn't
It's
heard.
great.
I hadn't heard of him before this afternoon, and I saw one 5-minute video when he was talking about your claims. That's all I know of him. Okay.
Not my claims. It's just a bit of logic we made for a T-shirt and to explain to
T-shirt.
people.
Okay,
how
well, let me
how to
rephrase that then.
formulate Logic.
A 5-minute video with him talking about your logic.
And that 5-minute clip that you watched was enough for you to snigger at Bev when he mentioned the parallel
No, I've already
was
been
on-
through a discussion with Bev about that some time ago. On our, I think it was our first meeting. We had a live stream, didn't we, Bev?
Yeah.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah, we tried to go over the test with you, and you didn't understand it at all.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
Like, really weird that you've not understood any of the logic either. You know, the Black Swan, do you want to take us up on that? Going over the Black Swan. We'll fucking decimate it.
Okay, well, let's have a...
2 years.
Yeah, right.
Not
okay.
now. Well, this will have to be a special, right? You bring whatever you're going to bring, right? And we will just smash the shit out of it. I've got at least 10 points that I could bring up
Have you?
about it.
Would you like to discuss sometime my MAGE experiment and what that resulted in?
Observations, looking at shit.
You're going up in a balloon.
Evidences. Evidences that would be contrary to the flat Earth. Evidences that show atmospheric pressure gradient.
Okay.
You turn evidence into your proof. When you say evidence,
No.
that's your proof.
No, evidence
Yeah,
supports
you
a thing.
formulate your logic to make that evidence into a proof.
Evidence.
Have you done that?
Evidence. You don't. Evidence either supports or runs
Hold on.
counter
This
to
is
a
sensible.
theory.
You have video. You have video of MAGE, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not evidence. That is proof of what you have. So what you're doing.
What do you mean
is
that's proof
you're
of what I
taking
have?
Hang on, let me finish. How do you prove? So if you can't prove that you have a video that you've watched, then what are you basing your conclusions on?
So if I have video to, if I can't prove I've got video, did you say?
Yeah, well, isn't you having a video reality, right? There's no dispute that you have a video, right?
No dispute. I have a video. Good.
Okay, so you proved it. So that's proven, right?
Well, someone would have to evidence that I haven't. I mean, I'm not. Look, there is video.
No.
I
Wait, no. Stop saying evidence, right? Because
because it is evidence.
No, hold on.
Okay,
Don't say that
okay.
word.
I'll let you
the
finish,
video
and then I'll respond.
Okay, so we're not talking about evidence because you were saying the video is evidence. Now I'm saying we have the video. Is the video not proof of itself?
What do you mean? Is it proof of itself? I actually don't understand what you're trying to say there.
Okay, here, let me. So you say that the video that we definitely 100% have proven we can watch that and draw conclusions. Those conclusions then make the video evidence. But the video is not evidence. The video is a video, and it is proven in reality to be itself. The evidence is your conclusions that you will draw and then apply to the video. The video in of itself is proof of itself. You watch the video, your conclusions are drawn, and then you call the video evidence for your conclusions.
We have a video.
Nicely done. I like that.
We have a video. The video shows stuff. The things that it shows are evidences. For instance, it's evidence that you can't see forever because there is a limit to how far across the Earth you can see. So that isn't evidence. But then you would compare that. You would. I let you finish. I let you finish, didn't I?
Yeah, let him finish, guys. Let him finish.
So the video shows you can only see a certain distance. So that is an evidence which could be applied against either a theory of the Earth being a globe and the theory of the Earth being flat. Does it fit with both? It doesn't fit with the Earth being flat.
That's your conclusions, right? Now,
based on that evidence.
Proven in reality. Hang on, let me finish. We have proven in reality that there is a limit to distance. Proven, done. Proof,
hold on,
right?
whoa. A limit to distance. Do you want to rephrase that?
A vision. We have a limit to we have a distance limit to our vision.
Do we?
You just proved it.
No.
Of
the Earth, there is the MAGE video will only show a limited distance across the Earth, but that's not a limit to your vision.
I'm talking about humans now.
What limit do you think we have to have vision?
Hang on.
Yeah.
Bro, this is okay. So if there's no limits to the vision, right, then your MAGE thing is useless. So we have to. We're starting with. Do you even? No, that's not a non-set. Because when you start drawing conclusions from the video, right? Those are not facts. Those are your conclusions. So now we're trying to settle on what is fact. Are you with me?
Can I just ask you, are you right the hand? You sound like right the hand.
Don't worry about.
Is that right the hand?
Why do you care about who I am? This is your tactic to evade the conversation.
No. I'm just interested. You just got the same sort of accent as right the hand.
Okay, well, a lot of people are from New York. So
okay.
When you have a video, did we not, is the video of itself, the physical plastic tape, is that not proof that you have a physical plastic tape? Or is that still just evidence of the thing?
We have a video which actually is not on physical plastic tape, but I know where you're going with that. We have a video which shows things. In that video, we can see across the Earth. However, we cannot see across the Earth forever. Therefore, does that fit with a flat Earth theory? No, it doesn't, because there would be nothing to hide there'd be nothing to hide the further distance Earth. But that's not showing that you cannot see greater distances, because, for instance, you can see stars, you can see the moon, you can see the sun.
Okay, that's not my point. Okay, that's not my point. So try and follow me. So you have the video, right, on a disc or whatever. You have a physical thing that contains the information of the video.
Yep.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, is that not proof of that physical object existing?
An object is proof of the object. No.
Is it not? Did you not prove you have that? So you don't know if you have the disc or not?
You're being ridiculous. I have a video. The video exists. Okay.
And the video. You have a video. Now, have you proof? That's proof that you have a video, right? Because it's reality. Nobody can dispute that you have this physical thing.
Okay.
Right?
No one can dispute that. Yeah. It's on a SIM card or whatever.
Proven.
Yeah.
So then it's proven.
Yeah.
So it's proven. Okay, great. You just proved something. Congratulations, Mr. Sensible. I walked you through it. So now we've proven that you have this thing. That's the proof. Now, you can take proof and try and make it evidence by watching it and drawing conclusions, but that won't change what it is. Proof of itself.
Proof of itself. I honestly think this is nonsense.
Okay, because you're not following. So
but
you're trying. When you say evidence is a vague term, not specific. When I say you have proven that you have this physical disc with information on it, that is proof. That's not evidence of anything. It is proof that. Hold on. It is proof that you have a disc with information. Now, that physical thing that is itself cannot be evidence for something else. It's only the information of itself. So if you're trying to get more information from what it is, that's you just drawing conclusions. That's your evidence. So your evidence is your conclusions, and proof is the physical object that you are going to draw your conclusions from.
I think you're talking nonsense. What we have is a video. Nobody is denying that I'm aware of that we have the video. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube.
So
I could send you a memory card. But listen, that's nonsense. What is important is what is that data? What is that data? You said that evidence. No, hold on. He said evidence is a vague thing. No, evidence is a specific thing. That's measurements, it's observations, etc.
Can I pick up on that evidence point, please? Mr. Sensible, would you say there is evidence of clouds in your MAGE video?
Yes.
Would you also say that there is evidence that the clouds in your MAGE video obstructs the view of the ground behind those clouds?
Yes.
So why on earth would you think you'd be able to see forever when there is evidence of clouds all the way through that MAGE video?
Because the clouds themselves only appear up to a certain distance away.
Rubbish.
What do you mean rubbish?
They're there as far as you can see.
Yeah, and you can't.
And they obstruct everything. The other side of those clouds, you cannot see anything apart from the tops of those clouds.
If the Earth was a flat plane or an infinite plane, then you would need more and more clouds approaching the vanishing point to hide stuff beyond it. There is a curved horizon. There is a horizon.
The vanishing point, Mr. Sensible.
But if it was a flat plane, it would continue up in effect to eye level.
that there is evidence that the clouds obstruct the view. So you've just said that there is no evidence of what you're claiming is an evidence for what you think is a proof.
Well, or think of it this way: when MAGE is swinging.
No, I'm not thinking of it your
No.
way.
I'm trying to address. I'm
I'm
addressing what you're saying. When MAGE swings around, sometimes the view is angled downwards, and in some places you can see the ground. Other places you can't because it's hidden behind clouds.
Gaps in the clouds.
Yeah,
there's always gaps in the clouds.
Yeah, at other points it's hidden behind those clouds which you're above. But as the MAGE sort of is calmer and more steady, you can see a point beyond which there is just the blackness of space above it, or the blackness of the sky above it. So why can you not see more and more and more clouds hiding whatever land there is there? You can't, because that is the edge of this
point.
No, it's not a vanishing point.
You're above the clouds, Mr. Sensible. The clouds, as you rightly say, obstruct whatever is on the ground, your vision, your view of whatever is on the ground. So all you have gathered is an evidence that clouds obstruct your view.
Okay. Do clouds obstruct radio waves?
Why are you diverting now?
No, I'm not. I'm staying bang on point, and I'll explain why. I'm assuming you don't think that clouds obstruct radio waves. Now, when MAGE was on the ground being launched,
I say that?
No, but I'm addressing your same point with your clouds. Okay, when MAGE was on the ground, the only listening station.
What has radio waves got to do with your view of the ground from a height?
Because I'm going to show exactly what it has to do with that. If you'll hold on. You don't want to hear it.
You said that there was an infinite. You should be able to see forever.
If it was a flat,
that was your exact words.
If it was,
you should be able to see forever. It was an evidence that you could see or you couldn't see forever.
And
however you phrased it.
I'm still addressing.
Now, I've just walked you step by step,
and then didn't allow me to address
why
it.
Your evidence doesn't actually hold as an evidence for anything.
Well, let me show you. Will you let me show you?
I'm not interested in your radio waves because were talking about as far as you could see.
And this is bang on point. So
it's not bang on point.
Well, you haven't heard it. You haven't heard it. I'm not diverting. You haven't heard it.
It's not going to be about vision, so it's not going to be on point. Address
yes, it is.
Vision.
It's bang on point.
Not radio waves. So if you bring up radio waves, you're diverting from vision and how your evidence of MAGE is that clouds block vision. So you prove that you have evidence of clouds blocking vision. Don't go to radio waves. Address that point.
When you look at something, what is it? It's line of sight, isn't it? Radio waves. The radio waves are line of sight. When MAGE was on the ground, it could only be picked up.
Why are you diverting?
No, you're just
talking about.
I'm not diverting, and you're just not letting me answer.
You are. You're diverting from vision to radio waves. Stay with vision. We're not going to let you weasel out of this.
I'm not weaseling out of anything. You're not letting me actually present my evidence, are you? You're doing a Nathan Oakley. You're not letting me present my evidence.
Guys, let him talk a little bit.
You're talking about radio waves. We're not going to let you talk about radio waves.
Let him talk a bit.
You can disagree with me once you heard it. You can disagree with me once you heard it, but you haven't heard it.
Everybody take a breath. Hey, Sean, take a breath and let him say some things, and then you can respond.
Radio waves, and then we're going to say the exact same thing we just said and waste 5 minutes.
I agree. Let him say whatever he wants, guys. What server do we have here? Let him say whatever he wants. Let him talk about radio waves.
It's just right now. Yeah, right now you can't hear anybody talk. Everybody's going to take a breath and let the other person speak a bit. It's clear you disagree. Let's everybody get their points out.
Go ahead, Mr. Sensible.
Okay, I'll be brief. When MAGE was on the ground, the only listening station that could pick up its signal was the one at the point where we were launching. As it went higher, it could be picked up by listening stations further and further away until when it was at its maximum height, it could be picked up approximately 400 miles away. Now, that is the line of sight, because beyond that, the curve of the Earth was blocking the radio signals, just like it's blocking your view with the rays of light. See, it's staying bang on point. It's line of sight. When you look towards the horizon, you cannot see beyond it. When you broadcast towards the horizon, the signals won't be picked up beyond it. You see, it was exactly the same point. But I was making the point that it was not being blocked because it is not being blocked by clouds. It's being blocked by the Earth.
What has that got anything to do with how far you can see?
And how far you can listen? How far?
Did you guys hear what he just said? He said it's not being blocked by the clouds, but rather by the Earth.
He said clouds block my vision, but clouds aren't blocking the vision because radio waves. Bro, again, you don't see in radio waves, okay? So if the clouds are blocking our vision, then the clouds are blocking our vision. Has nothing to do with radio waves. Do you agree?
Clouds are blocking the light, so the argument that the clouds are stopping you seeing
the light in radio waves. Do you mean?
What I'm saying is the argument was used against
Do
MAGE.
you mean the light in radio waves?
We said vision, not radio waves, not light. I said my vision. Okay, my vision is not light bulbs. My vision is not radio waves. It is my vision.
Your vision is rays of light hitting your eyes.
Again, my eyes see. Light is illumination. That is not the same thing. Okay. So now when I go up with my drone, clouds block my vision. Do you agree that clouds block vision? Yes or no?
Clouds block vision because it's blocking the light.
No, don't tell me why. You don't know why. You don't know why.
What do you mean you don't know why? Do you not know what vision is? Right. The hand.
You don't know why you see. Okay.
What do you mean I don't know why you see?
So you see why you see, or you just see that you see?
Right, you're talking nonsense.
No, hang on. You're trying to explain to me the mechanism in which we see. And I'm saying we don't see the mechanism. We only see the end result, which is vision. So are you now going to tell me that you see the unseen process that allows us to see?
Your vision is rays of light bouncing off of objects and then hitting your eye. Right, the hand.
Which isn't radio waves.
No, which isn't radio waves. But with the radio waves, they are broadcast from a point and hit the receiver in the same direct line.
None of this has to do with the
radio waves have the same scatter as light?
No. Don't even.
He's
equating light. He's equating light to vision. No, light is not vision. They are two separate, different things. Because
he's equating vision to radio waves. Right, the hand.
Either way, bro. Radio waves are not vision. Light is not vision. When it's dark and I open my eyes, the room does not illuminate. So light and vision are not connected, Mr. Sensible.
Do you think rays of?
I'm going to ask you again. Hang on. I'm going to ask you again. Without bringing up what you believe or what you can't verify, right? Because we're working on the evidence. We have evidence, your words, that we cannot see because of the clouds, right? We don't see photons. We don't see scattering. The only thing we have the evidence for is the clouds blocking our vision. Do you agree? Yes or no, please?
I don't agree that that's a well-formed question because, I mean, your point when you said when you open your eyes in a dark room, does it light up? Light doesn't come from your eyes. It enters your eyes after bouncing off of other objects.
You see it bounce. Do you see light bounce?
You don't see it bounce. You see a direct line from. You see a direct line of light from an. You see a direct line of light
from. How do you know it's doing what it's doing? If you don't see it to get that information, how do you know it's doing what it's doing?
Are you denying light? Are you denying light? Rays of light?
This isn't what we do here.
No, I know it's.
This is miles away from what we do.
Yeah. I'm afraid it's right the hand all over.
Hold on. Let me speak. So when you're saying we're going on the point, vision, clouds, evidence. Okay. Evidence, the clouds block the vision. Now, I'm not going to let you bring up light. I'm not going to let you bring up radio waves. Now, we are going to stick with this, that the clouds block your vision only. Only your vision. If you bring up light or radio waves.
What is provable in visuals, Sean?
Light is not visuals. Light is not your line of sight. When you look through the camera or when you get up in a hot air balloon and look, that is not.
You're still looking. It proves nothing. You cannot prove anything with looking at shit.
You proved you see clouds.
Whoopee.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with this. So what we've proven is that we can see the clouds, and the clouds block our vision. That is all we have. We don't have the mechanism of light. We don't have radio waves. We don't have photons bouncing.
As Mr. Sensible has freely admitted, there is different scatter between radio waves and what he calls light waves. So his equivocation fallacy between the radio waves and what we see has been outlined. So can we move on, please?
Although it's not a fallacy, they're different things.
It is a fallacy. It's an equivocation fallacy. You're comparing one thing with something completely different.
I'm not making
the scatter is completely different. You've said that.
I agreed that light scatters differently than radio waves.
Waves.
However, they are two independent evidences. They are two independent evidences that provide a limit.
Affect what you see.
They don't. But what they
exactly.
My point is.
So you have an equivocation fallacy right there.
No,
Mr.
because
cheese.
I didn't say that they were equivalent, did I? I just said that they both evidence the same thing.
To the other.
No, I'm saying they both evidence the same.
You are.
They both evidence the same thing, i.e., that there is a limit beyond which they won't travel. With the light, you can see so far, and then you'll see the horizon. But you have a horizon from the radio waves. You have a horizon with the radio waves.
And I told you because there's clouds in the way.
Okay. So, that's why I brought up radio, because the radio would not be stopped by clouds. So why can that also not go beyond 400 miles? Because there's no mountains or anything in the way.
Again. Sorry. Why did you come? Is this what you came for?
Well,
I wasn't expecting this sort of heated. I asked you, would you be willing to do a Black Swan thing? And then you diverted into the MAGE, and now we're here. A pretty heated argument. I mean, it sounds like you're defending something quite a lot, and we're just talking about looking at stuff.
Well, sorry, who's the guy? Is it If D Then P? Are you the guy with the monkey icon? If D Then P?
What's that?
No, I just don't want to get confused as to who's who. So we're just chatting. I'm afraid.
I'm the one that's enjoyed making plenty of memes.
I like the latest one. It shows my classical beauty because of all the symmetry. Thank you. But what I was going to say is
the one with the guy trying to measure an angle to your chrome dome.
That's the one. Yeah. But we're having a conversation. Unfortunately, Right the Hand is impossible to have a conversation with.
No, don't put this on me, bro. You keep deflecting. Trying to just.
I told you.
Hang on. Like a team.
Can we not let this go down that road?
Right?
We can't even agree that MAGE proves what we
see what he did then? Right the Hand.
Like what, with the light and radio waves, or his?
No, the way he wound you to spring you back into action.
Well, he's making it about me and not the topic.
Yeah.
And you're silly enough to fall for it.
Bro, I just said I'm all I want to talk about is vision, the clouds, the evidence, and the proof. Right? That's all I've been talking about.
Okay, so do you want to set up a debate with Mr. Sensible then, where you can go over this with him? Would you be okay for that, Mr. Sensible? I mean, like, surely you'd like to sort of get that sort of stuff done. I mean, let's
I'm certainly more than happy.
Not right now.
No, not right now. I'm certainly happy to debate people about MAGE. The issue I have with Right the Hand is our history, isn't it, right?
Well, that sounds like a you problem, right? Like, if you're so confident in MAGE, right, and what it does, then you could open it up to all of the scrutiny, and that would just prove it superior. Right? But
on debate night. How about that? That'll be the first debate on debate night.
What's debate night? Is that
you're supposed to be promoting nips, Bev?
Oh, so well, I know, but I mean, like, what would be better than that?
I'll stand with Sean. Stand with Sean, yeah, absolutely. I'll fall on my sword for this one.
What's nips? What's debate night?
Debate night's the new debate night.
The new debate.
Place
to be.
Debates.
Is it? I hadn't heard of it. Or is it
in the place to
Wow,
be?
you surprise us. Well, let us introduce to you the new hot debate night, hosted by Sean Hawkins.
Who won't
He's
be
looking
debating?
He's looking for debaters. We have all offered our services, but he seems to keep forgetting. So, I mean, if you are maybe if we get a name as big as Mr. Sensible involved in it, I mean, whoa. And the MAGE, you get to talk about your MAGE thing as well, right? I mean, first debate night, surely bound to be promoted by every globe Earth server, right? Everybody stands with Sean.
Well, I've just got
there for sure.
I've just gone to Sean's channel, which is now renamed as Debate Night. I wasn't even aware of that. I wasn't aware of that. When did that happen then?
Oh, he's been setting this up for about a month.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. My time may be a bit off a bit. I'm not too sure, but it's been a bit.
Yeah, well, I have no problem debating with Sean. You know, on Sean's channel.
Mm-hmm. With Right the Hand.
Yeah, but did you notice when I first
sort out a topic?
When I first thought, hey, that sounds like Right the Hand. He didn't say yes, no. He just said, oh, there's lots of people with this New York accent.
There's a lot of connotations come with, as soon as you put that name to him, then your mind changed about who you were talking to, right? You associate a lot to the name that you give people.
Well, you're going to go and have a look at the old history where basically he was taken apart as bitch-made on my channel.
I wouldn't know any of
Get out
that.
of your server, dude.
Sorry?
You invited me. You asked me to debate. You asked me. I said, okay, fine. I went over to your server, right? I'm in your server. One of your mods kicks me out of your server before the debate. And I was like, yo, I just got kicked out of your server. Let's have the debate. At that time, I was in, I think it was 24/7 or one of these other channels. Like, let's have the debate over here since I was just kicked out of your server. And that's at that point, you just made no attempt to get the debate going, right? Then when I did show up, even after I got kicked out, showed up and you still didn't have the debate.
Yeah. And what had happened? You weren't kicked out. You were booted for 24 hours for I can't remember what. And my stream was still there. Hold on. I didn't speak over you. My stream was running. You had the invite. You were there for 15 minutes while a clock was running, saying, come on in. And as you didn't, I then played a video with a load of stuff about you, which shows what you were like.
I got banned from your server for posting a GIF.
I have no idea.
Why would you invite somebody to have a debate in your server and then have them get kicked out? You know, that's just bad manners. That's just bad crap.
You did something. You did something to a mod. You did something to a mod.
I blocked the mod. I blocked the mod.
Yeah, so that's not appropriate, and you were warned, and you still.
Then tell your hang on. Then tell your mod to stop calling me names and start attacking me to the point where I have to block him and I don't have to see what he says. And he was so wound up in his ego that I wasn't reading what he said. He whined and pissed and moaned to you, or he didn't even do that. He kicked me, right?
He booted you for 24 hours.
Bro, if you hang on, you invited me to your. If I invited you, hang on, let me finish.
Yes, you were invited.
Hang on. If I invited you to this server to have a debate, you were over here, and then someone else like DP kicked you out, right? And then I was like, "Yo, come back for the debate," and you're like, "No, DP kicked me out." I'd be like, and I was like, "No, stop being a baby, come back." You would not come back. You would say, "No, that was fucked up. That you asked me to debate, and then somebody else booted me from the server. I'm not coming back to your server."
I've just got to say here, I've never kicked anybody from this server. So, using me as an example, I've never done it.
Cool.
So,
well, let me respond to that one more time then, right? You were booted for breaking the server rules. You were not banned from the debate. You were aware of the debate.
Then?
Hold on. Let me finish. You were not blocked from the debate. You were in the side chat of the debate. Anyone can watch that video and see your comments. And I actually then started a 15-minute timer saying, come on in. Everyone was saying, come on in. You were not blocked, but you didn't. You ran away. You tried to set up. You ran away. You tried to set up another stream at the same time. Then you came back. Then the 15-minute time ran out, and so I played a bunch of information which showed what you were like. So yes, you were booted for breaking. You were booted.
Either one of you got any evidence to support your claims?
Yes.
Please?
Yes.
His mod booted me because I blocked him, right? And then I said, okay, if you
Evidence that would result in a proof, please.
Yeah, it was all just to not debate. That's his entire thing. He just
like a fucking counseling session, guys.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought you guys were going to talk about destroying the Black Swan, and now we got all this drama and shit going on.
There's no drama as far as I'm concerned. The whole video is there, and you can see him in the side chat.
Just fucking drop it.
Then we can debate on Sean's channel. So let's debate on Sean's channel. There's no your mods. There's no my mods.
Yeah, moving on.
Right. So you're so confident. Let's do it.
That's good. Can we do a topic? Let's just sort a topic out, right? And then that's done. We can just get in touch with Sean.
For a debate with Sean, yeah.
On MAGE. We'll do it. I say MAGE proved nothing, right? Okay. You're going to say that MAGE proved what it did, and we can debate the evidence.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Brilliant. See, that's well worth doing. That's good stuff.
That sounds
about
good.
The
wow.
Black Swan stuff? Do you want to get onto that at some point as well?
Where and when are you talking about, Bev?
I don't know. Just get together and we'll do it like another chat, and we'll just go over all of the problems that we've got with the Black Swan.
Yeah, I think we can sort something with that.
It's coming about that it's like the number one. Is it what they say? Is it the globe killer?
Yeah, but how many number one globe killers are there? Apparently.
I know the Sextant at the minute. That's a bit silly as well.
But yeah,
the age of the Sextant.
This is just an honest, open question because I have no idea where they've been putting forward the Sextant and using it as an alleged globe Earth killer, Bev. What do you think about that? Do you think sextants can only work on a flat Earth, only work on a globe Earth? Doesn't matter. And I'm not trying to get into an argument now.
I'm not. There's no argument anywhere. I've said it right from the beginning. They tried to sell us this ages ago, and it's like you can measure an angle from anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's what a sextant does.
So never mind about whatever.
Anything.
Okay, yeah. So never mind what shape the Earth is. You think that the flat Earth side right now is talking crap about the sextants, then, do you?
It's just I think the globe Earth side as well. It's just an angle measuring device. I mean, it can't do any. You can do fuck all with an angle, and that's all you've got. You're just wandering around with a sextant.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose that's where we disagree. Yes, we agree that it just measures an angle, but it's what you do with that angle afterwards that's the question. But
we say you can do fuck all with an angle. Are you going to counter that? Because that'd be a good one to go. I mean, but after the Black Swan, right? But that's
debate number 2 sounds good. Yeah.
Nothing to do with it.
Does anyone
debate number 2?
Does anyone understand Nathan Oakley's claim with regard to that, saying you can't measure the angle because you haven't got a curved adjacent? What do you think of that, then, Bev?
Can't measure.
You need 2 straight lines.
Yes, but
it's just an angle.
Yeah, what he's saying is, if you were on a globe Earth and used a sextant, you couldn't get an angle because the surface of the Earth would be curved, and you can't have a curved.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
That's exactly what he's saying, Bev. Yeah. No, that's exactly what he's saying. Because if you have a look at him, he says you can't measure an angle because you can't measure an angle on a globe because you can't measure an angle using a curved adjacent. That is his claim.
Who is this guy that can't shut up even when he asks a question? Who is this guy?
Mr. Sensible.
I think I've made my point. Oh, nice to meet you, Mr. Sensible.
I can't even
try that mute button every now and then, buddy.
So the idea is that you can measure an angle, right?
Yes.
And when we say you can do fuck all with an angle, your counter is something that Nathan Oakley says.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I agree.
Okay.
I agree that a sextant measures an angle. That is all a sextant does. Okay? Having got an angle, the question then is what could you do with that? Now, I think you can then calculate your distance from a star's GP, but that's not what I'm talking about. So I agree.
It is. Because that's when we say you can do fuck all with an angle.
Yeah, but
you say you can actually do something with it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but
that's where we differ.
Yeah,
and I don't think we want to get into that.
Well, not right now, maybe. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, we're both agreeing you can get an angle with a sextant. So I was wondering what you thought when Nathan is saying if the Earth was a sphere, then you couldn't get that angle because the surface of the Earth would have to be curved, and you can't get an angle from a curved surface. That's what Nathan is saying.
You can go up a mountain and measure an angle.
Yep.
You can go inside a cave and measure an angle
with an artificial horizon. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. He doesn't get it.
The shape of anything doesn't matter.
Absolutely agree with Bev.
Angles.
Bev, I agree with you on that 100%.
Right. Well, that's as far as we need to go because we always stay at the basics.
Would you say that's a logical conclusion? Sensible.
That what is a logical conclusion?
The agreement that you and Bev have just come to.
Well, we were just establishing, I just wanted to establish his position and his position with regard to a sextant measuring an angle, and it doesn't matter what you're stood on to measure that angle, we agree on.
And would you say you have reached a logical conclusion step by step?
Well, we haven't gone through step by step, it was just a question.
Yeah, it was just about the angle. But, I mean, at least it's an agreement on what an angle is. Right?
Yeah, and I have no problem with agreeing with people, Bev, when I agree with them. I wouldn't say, if Nathan Oakley, for instance, said, well, of course you can measure an angle even if it was a sphere, I would agree with him. We would then disagree about whether it actually is a sphere, but I'm not stupid, and nor are you.
I think the disagreement will come when we say you can do fuck all.
Absolutely, yeah. That's where we'll disagree. Yeah. And that's cool.
So,
that'd be an interesting debate.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the thing where I don't know whether we got there at the beginning with SE. I don't know how far we got with the proof. Do you believe that there are proofs to be had, right? There are proofs that you can gain in reality.
There are facts that you can gain and use as evidence.
And proof?
That wasn't the question.
Well, no, that is my answer, though. Science doesn't deal in proof, does it?
Is that is that gone out as a memo to everyone?
Well, it's just the case, Bev, because, for instance, you think of theories.
Well, not everything is science, right? So,
but then it's not scientific.
You believe there are proofs in reality.
There's proofs in maths, aren't there?
Right.
Sounds to me a bit like you're science denying, Mr. Sensible.
No, I'm not science denying.
It holds no proofs, so.
No, you have a best explanation. You have a theory. So, for instance, I would say, let's say it was day one. I step outside. I might think, do you know what? The Earth looks flat. That would be a good initial theory.
It's not proof.
No, it's not proof. No, it's not proof. It's I look out.
I'm asking you about proof in reality. That's all. Like, do you believe they are possible to have? And can you disassociate some sort of a model and whatever bigotry you have for another group of people?
No, I'm not being bigotry.
Thoughts of the model affliction, then, at least, can you try and stop the model stuff and just say, in reality, because that's where we all live, do you believe there are proofs that you can gain?
Well, you think even in a court of law, you don't have proofs. You have evidence. You're found guilty or not guilty. You're never found innocent. There could still be some evidence. There could still be some evidence that changes the position. That with science,
the question was asked: can you gain proofs? Is there any way to gain proofs? Not.
Do you think
the question.
There is? It's not do you personally think or believe there are proofs that you can gain in reality?
I think.
Don't think of the system. You're thinking of the system now in your head, right? What you've learned. He's asking you personally, Mr. Sensible. can you gain proofs for yourself?
Well, in the vernacular, you might say, walking up to my house, I meet my daughter, therefore it's proof I've got a daughter.
Yeah, there you go. Boom. Proof.
But then that's not what we're talking about when we're talking about is the this shape or that shape, that we have evidences supporting.
What you did there to find that proof and say that you could structure other things in that way. So that is what you could gain as a proof. Like, have you ever thought of that? Like, the idea of how you would do that.
But actually,
yeah, that was
I don't want
genius
to drop
about the daughter thing.
Some things that you have to think about for a while before you can actually come up with an idea of what we're talking about. And I don't want to drop it on you. I'm just asking you, do you, for step one, do you believe they're possible?
He just did it.
Yeah.
Although
he just did it when I asked him about himself. He just did it with his daughter.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
But actually, it isn't, is it? That I said in the vernacular, if you're actually talking about proof, if I went up there and I met her and said, so that's proof I've got a daughter. Well, hold on. I saw her born, so it's proof she's the daughter of the mum. But I'd need a.
Come on!
No. You would then go for.
He's right. He's like
you'd have
all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah, a paternity test. A paternity test, and if the paternity test shows that I'm the father, it's still a however many odds, so many parts chances in a million.
Yeah.
So, again, there's never
quantum on me now. Come on.
Would not be a proof. I mean, no, that's logical. I mean, I'd go with that.
Thank you, Bev.
But still,
in saying that, test is 100% accurate.
In saying that,
who said that?
Now, do you believe there is anything you could find a proof for, right? As a challenge. Now you've proved that one isn't a proof to yourself. Do you think there would be something there that you could prove that you couldn't falsify?
Well, I think if you really, really were trying like that, you'd have to also consider the whole thing of are we just running in a simulation? You would never know, would you? So then,
if that's where you go to straight away.
No, it's not where I go. No. I'm talking about if you kept looking.
Think about it for a while then.
Okay, this proof really irks me. Okay, here I have another one for you. Let's say, Mr. Sensible, before you met your wife, you were to be locked in a room with her for 1 year. You did a pregnancy test. Right?
Yeah.
She wasn't pregnant.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Then you did your thing, right? And she became pregnant.
Yep.
After 9 months, beautiful daughter was born. Would you be then convinced that was your daughter? Would that be proof to you?
I would be convinced in that the evidence is so overwhelming that I could not think of any other possibility. But if you were being scientific, you'd have to say, well, perhaps there is some other possibility. But I couldn't think of one. So I'd guess that would be as close to a proof as I could get. That was an interesting one.
Finally. Thank you.
Or you could put it this way. How about you witness the daughter being born? Is that not proof that that's the mother of that child? There's no misconceptions about cheating and all this sort.
Yeah. That's really interesting.
Good one, Gods.
Sorry?
Well, sorry, I just said good one, Gods.
Yeah, it was a good one. So the evidence, I can't think of a way that evidence could be overthrown. So the theory that she is the mother would be a rock solid theory, but it would still only be if you were talking scientifically, it would still only be a theory. You'd have to be open. You'd have to be open to the possibility of something else. But I damn well couldn't.
You wouldn't.
No. Yes, you would.
You wouldn't.
But
you've been convinced. Sorry to interrupt you.
Can I just say something really quick? One of the things I've noticed when I've been listening to you talk a lot, Mr. Sensible, actually listening close. And one thing I noticed is when you're having a conversation with these guys and back and forth, they're trying to make points and they're not bringing, one thing they're not doing is bringing up the word science or the shape of the earth, shape. And they're trying to make points outside of those arenas, but it seems like you're stuck in bringing up science or shape of the earth. Right now, we're just talking about proof and a mother and her daughter. And I notice that you continually want to bring it into, well, science says this or science says that. And I think that's where the frustration seems to be with the conversation between you and everybody else in here, is they just want to have a basic conversation, right?
Okay, well, thank you for that, Scalpel. I think that, though, I'm very wary of things being clipped and being used elsewhere. I'm not accusing anyone of it, but I'm very wary of that. So if I said this proves this or this proves that, then someone could turn around and say, well, MAGE doesn't prove something. It might show that that's a possibility, but it doesn't prove something. So I don't, I'm not trying to deal in proof. I'm trying to answer the questions, and someone had jumped in, had made an interesting point just a minute ago, and I can't remember what it was. So, yeah, I mean, with science, you have something like, say, the theory of evolution or the theory of gravity or whatever, and all the evidence would appear to point to it. But scientists have to be open to the fact that there could be a counter evidence, and they'd have to either deal with it or it destroys the theory. So the theory...
You freely admit that MAGE doesn't prove anything?
Yes.
Cool.
I would say it's just very strong evidence for. And
something else that's interesting is you said scientists need to be open to other things, but when you have conversations in this arena, it doesn't appear that anybody that considers them scientific is very open to anything that's said on the other side of the aisle.
What level of scientists are you talking about? I mean, can you give me an example? Just
any conversation. Pick any conversation within this arena.
Yeah, the conversation about light. They'll say we know everything about light. Like all that we need to know to prove this and that. There's no way, man. Well, even scientists say that's like 5 and 10% of what we know. We know 100% about 5 and 10% of this subject.
Yeah, it's
just
like
talking about people in the sun.
Yeah, sorry, Ricky, I didn't mean to clip you. I guess he's done. It's just like when you watch a scientific, in quotation marks, what are they called, about space? A documentary about space at the beginning of time. They'll start off by saying, basically this is our best guess or whatever.
Yeah.
But after that point, if you pay real close attention, after that point, they basically state everything as fact and non-negotiable.
Well, I would have to say, you're talking about a TV program or a documentary.
Threatening the model. Why'd you do it?
Yeah, but that's the thing you've done the same thing even today, is you've said, we have to be open-minded, we can't prove anything, but you've also stated very clearly that when your whatever it's called goes up in the clouds are definitely blocking, or it's not the clouds that are blocking the radio signal, but rather it's the shape of the earth. You said that earlier, basically without a doubt in your mind.
Well,
but then now you're saying how scientists need to be open, and it doesn't prove anything, right? You know what I mean? It just feels like you're talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Yeah, right. Well, let me try and rephrase that. I'm saying that there is evidence that at different heights the radio waves could travel further, and at the MAGE's maximum height they could travel 400 miles. So that is an evidence that something is blocking it. So what could be the explanation? My explanation is the curve of the Earth. There could be something else, but I can't think what it is. And if the Earth was flat, then they wouldn't be blocked. So it's evidence against that.
See, there you just made that positive claim at the end that it's like you can't help yourself, where it doesn't prove anything for sure, and this is what I think, but definitely 100% this or not this, right? And that's what I'm talking about. On one hand, you talk about being open and it doesn't prove anything and there's possibilities, but when you're done with that talk, you also make this definite statement that 100% it can't be this.
Well,
I'm saying?
If you had an object above a flat plane, then I can't think of anything that would stop a radio wave from travelling across that plane. If it's over a sphere, then obviously the curve of the sphere would limit how far it could travel.
You're joking, right?
Just to be clear, I'm not debating you.
No, I know.
Earth. I'm just simply talking about the rhetoric.
Yes. I know exactly where you're coming from. So I provided that as an evidence. You could use that evidence, try to use it to support a flat, concave, whatever. But I've provided an evidence. It fits with a globe theory. I can't see how it fits with a flat theory. Now, someone might come up with an explanation, in which case, okay, it's then perhaps evidence neither way. But nobody has been able to.
What blocks radio frequencies? Can other radio frequencies make your frequency weaker or scatter or whatever you want to call it? Blocked?
Well,
jammed?
Yeah. You're probably going into a realm that's beyond my.
Don't tell him where he's going. Just answer the question.
Just answer if you know.
Yeah, but I wish whoever that is wouldn't do it. I am trying to answer the question. What I'm saying is, you're probably going into the realm beyond my knowledge.
That, somebody's giving you a globe Earth theory and then another theory, and one of you guys is about to defend the other theory that he's giving you.
No, I'm talking about frequency. No matter what the surface, what we know about frequency.
And I'm trying.
You're saying you can't see any way over a flat plane. That flat plane could be on a sphere. It doesn't matter. I'm not talking about shape. I'm talking about what you said. That you can't think of any reason why a frequency would be obstructed or jammed. You can't know about frequency and not know that they can be basically jammed, to use just a small word.
Right, and what I was trying to explain is, when you come to things like radio frequencies and that sort of technical side, I don't have the knowledge. So I said, I can't think of a reason. Now, someone else might say, but at a certain distance, this frequency gets blocked by whatever. That's fine. But nobody has come up with an explanation. So I'm just providing an evidence, and that evidence is irrefutable in that the signal couldn't be picked up at these greater distances until MAGE was higher. That is an evidence. That is a fact. The question is, what conclusions do you draw from the fact?
What's the difference between fact and proof and evidence?
Well, an evidence is a measurement or an observation. We've taken an observation and we came up with distances that the radio waves could be seen. They then had line of sight to MAGE. They could pick up the signal. That's not a proof of the shape of the Earth. It's just a fact. The fact was, when MAGE was at 38.5 kilometres, there was a radio station at approximately 400 miles that could pick it up. That is a fact.
Have you heard of the ionosphere?
Yes, and signals can bounce. Yes. But in which case, I say, well, why couldn't they be picked up when it was lower? I mean, like I said, I'm open to it. I'm open to that evidence being trashed by someone, but someone would need to provide some not just come out with an idea such as okay, there's an idea, ionosphere, fine, but then we'd need to look into it. Would that work? Would that support? Would it be counter? I don't know.
Yeah, as long as you talk like that, I don't know, and there's no conclusive evidence. I did my thing and I saw that. That's fine.
Yeah. I came up with a number of evidences. And I'm open to them being debunked. And I mean, I put the full videos up for people to try and debunk me. A couple of people had a try. And to show that I am open to being corrected, as part of that, as well as the air pressure, there was a temperature sensor which showed how the temperature dropped and then rose again and so on. And Brian's logic did a debunk. Half of it I was able to say he was wrong, but he spotted that the temperatures appeared to be too high. And I looked into it, and they were too high. And I openly admitted that on the video. So it was either the sensor was not good enough quality, poorly calibrated, that sort of thing. But yeah, he had spotted that there was an issue with the sensor data regarding temperatures. And I quite freely admitted it on video.
And Rakia has just pointed out that there is an issue with your radio waves.
Okay.
That at ground level there is radio wave interference. As you get higher up, that radio wave interference clears. So now your evidence isn't as strong as you thought it was.
Maybe. All I know is, as I said, when it was at ground level, it could be picked up by the station that was right next to it because it was only a few yards away. But as we went up, you got a circle within which, an increasing circle within which listening stations could pick it up. And as it went higher, that circle increased until it reached approximately 400 miles.
As we've established, the ground radio wave interference clears as you get higher.
Okay, so then the question would be is why does it change, let's say, between 20 and 25, 30 to 38 kilometres? That circle kept increasing at a steady pace. But I'll grant you that's an interesting point.
For you to look into, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fine.
I have an idea on that. As your altitude increased, could it be, I'm just saying, could it be that your line of sight also increased with that?
Yeah, that is my point. The line of sight increased. Therefore, there was a direct line of sight between the listening stations and MAGE. When it was lower, just like if it was on the other side of a hill, you perhaps couldn't pick up the signal. When it gets higher, so it's above the hill, you had line of sight to it, so you could pick it up. But and that's fine when you're within a few hundred meters of the Earth. But as you get higher, there's nothing that's physically going to get in the way to block it that I'm aware of. And yet that circle of line of sight grew larger and larger. Guys,
as you increased altitude.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, with regard to MAGE, because that was a flat versus globe type project.
A false equivocation.
Well, no, it was to go up and see if we could see the curve of the horizon. But as
hold on to that point. What kind of lens were you using?
A non-distorting. It's a 90-degree non-distorting lens. Just for the record, since we're talking about it, there were no fisheye lenses. There were two cameras with wide-angle lenses. One was just to look at the balloon, so it didn't matter. The other was pointing backwards just for the great view. The MAGE lens, the MAGE camera, was the one pointing forward with the two strings in front of it. That was a non-distorting lens. However, and as I picked apart in my video, there was some slight distortion. But the apparent curve that we imaged actually ran...
Non-distorting lens with some slight distortion.
I'm glad he said that, because there is no such thing as a non-distorting lens.
Well, I think
with
the closest...
Distance, and you can research this, with distance, every lens ever made has distortion as distance increases.
Right, so let me try and clarify that. When I say non-distorting lens, I mean it's not a wide-angle lens. It's a non-distorting lens. It's not a rectilinear lens, which has even less distortion. So there was a tiny bit of distortion, but when I did the conclusions at the end, we tried to image the horizon in three portions of the field of view: top, middle, and bottom. The top, any distortion, the barrel distortion that you get with any lens, would actually make it look more curvy, so I didn't actually count that one. We were aiming for a horizon across the middle where there's no to minimal distortion. That showed clear curvature. But then I also tried to get a horizon in the bottom where it would the distortion would tend to make it look flatter, or if it was a flat Earth, would make it even look concave, but we still had positive curvature. So I was open and took images in all three fields. Excuse me. Guys, I do appreciate this chat. I'm going to have to draw it to an end now because I need to get on and grab something to eat. I have enjoyed it.
Can I just...
Yeah.
There is actually a proof there.
Go ahead.
In what you've just said. You've claimed that you had a non-distorting lens and then found there was distortion in that lens.
Right.
So
yeah, it has to be. There's no other way. There's no such lens that does not distort.
You've stated that it's a non-distorting lens, and then in the same sentence proven that it is a lens with distortion.
Well, as sorry, I didn't see who spoke before. As that previous chap said, you're always going to get some distortion. But if you took a fisheye lens, then you could.
So why
let me
make the claim that it's a non-distorting lens when you know that you get distortion with it.
When you have something like a fisheye lens, you're going to get wild distortion. That's how when you get those selfies that show an entire globe just literally between your feet.
Why are you avoiding my question?
I'm not. I'm answering it. When you get because the accusation is always used. Oh, when you see curvature, that's because you use a wide-angle lens, which is distorting. So I have not used. I have not used a wide-angle lens for the MAGE experiment. I used what is colloquially
distorting lens.
What I used was a lens which is.
It had distortion.
What I used was a lens which is colloquially known as non-distorting because any distortion is absolutely minimal. But as the other chap said, that you always do get some distortion, but it's minimal.
It's not a non-distorting lens then.
It's just called that way, right? Would you agree, Mr. Sensible?
Yes.
They just call it that.
Yes. Yeah. Because you could.
But in reality, it does have some distortion. Can we agree on that?
Yes. Because in no way would you say a fisheye lens is non-distorting. In no way would you say a wide-angle lens is non-distorting. They both have hideous distortion.
Who ever said they were? Nobody here made that claim.
Yeah, but you're
you
bickering
that you had
about
a non-distorting lens.
You're the only person here that
stated that it gave you distortion.
I've never said I've used a lens that's non-distorting. You're the only person here that's done that.
Myself, yes, because whenever we see balloon footage, people just say, "Oh, it's a distorting wide-angle lens." So I've taken a non-wide-angle lens. I'm happy to use that term, a non-wide-angle. I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is the distortion which you get.
No, it doesn't matter because you've made all your videos and they've all been watched to the nth degree by whoever's going to watch them. So,
and you told everybody this is a non-distortion lens.
I gave
your videos, right? I would assume you did.
Mm-hmm.
So you haven't watched it then?
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you did? I'm assuming that's what you said in your videos because that's what you just told us here.
Well, in my video, I said that I said about the three cameras, the two wide angles which have distortion, and I made clear that they do, and a non-distorting 90-degree angle lens. And in the course of that video, when I was explaining how we can accentuate curvature by pushing squishing the image from left to right, I pointed out there was some minimal distortion. But the curve went, but it doesn't actually matter because it distorted, which made the bottom string look as though it bowed downwards, but the curve of the Earth was going the other way. So the distortion actually didn't come into it anyway. Oh, do you know what? Sorry, is it Rakia? Is that your name? I can't quite read what it says on there. But yeah, have a look at my MAGE. Hold on, it's called MAGE Final Results. What shape is the Earth? Have a look at that video and see what you think. You know,
is that where I'll see Earth curve through a lens at altitude?
Yes.
What altitude were you?
38.7 kilometers, I think it was.
124,000 feet.
124,000 through a lens. I can see Earth curve. Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Cool. And then if I don't know if you've got a channel, but if you if you got a channel, if you want to do an attempted debunk on it, please go ahead and let me know so we can address it.
Debunk your Earth curve through a lens at 128,000 feet. Nah, I think I'll pass on that.
Is that because you agree that it would show curvature then?
Is that what you discern from that? Come on, man.
Well, no, I'm not discerning anything from it. I'm just asking you why. You said you pass on it. Why would you pass on it?
I think it's through a lens that has distortion from an altitude that wouldn't show the curve that you're showing anyway. I would assume if you're showing the normal curve that everyone shows at any altitude, 250 miles.
What he means by Earth curve.
It's amazing.
Ask him what he means by it.
Yeah, what's Earth curve? Are you talking about the what? Are you seeing the land curve, the water curve, the gas curve? What are you seeing? The sky?
Well, I suggest you have a look at the video, Rakia.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Can you answer the question, Sensible?
Well, you see the curved horizon.
And what do you mean by Earth curve?
Which is made of what?
Well, it's all three, isn't it? It's the land, the sea.
Good. You say the horizon's curved, therefore it cannot be parallel to the plane of the horizon.
Oh, don't go there, Bev. I just knew you'd try and get back to that, Bev.
But there is logic, and
You
that's
mean
the
logic.
we're dealing with.
Hey, let's not forget we're supposed to be talking about the black swan here. Not talking about it, but you know what I mean. Getting together for it.
Someone's breaking up.
Yeah, I think it's.
Are you breaking up there, Mobius?
Yeah. So when do you want to do it then, Sensible?
Do which? Do what?
With Bev about the Black Swan.
Well, I don't know. Bev, do you want to email me with some suggested dates?
Email? I don't do emails, sorry.
Don't you? Or DM me then?
On the on here, yeah.
Yeah, well, if you DM me, obviously I'll pick up the message.
In like
then-
a week or two, yeah?
yeah, something like that.
Good.
Yeah.
Destroy the black swan together. We'll say goodbye to it.
That's teamwork, that is. Both of you getting behind it to kick the Black Swan to the curb at last.
Right, so do you know what? I've had a big misunderstanding here, Bev. I've had a big misunderstanding. I thought you were going to defend the Black Swan.
No.
Oh, right. So this might be fun then.
Yeah, kick it to the curb, mate.
Okay.
Defend a picture taken through a lens over the distance. No, we would never do that, sir. That's why
misrepresentation of a logical argument, all of that shit. We'll go over the lot.
Cool. All right then, guys.
Kick it to the curb, Sensible.
Guys, I've really enjoyed it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll catch up with you again some other time.
Later.
Cheers then.
Later, Sensible.
Bye bye. Hope you enjoyed that. Until next time, stay sensible.
Shut up and sit down.